In this last episode of Karna in Mahabharata, we shall see the last day of Karna's life, the 17th day of the Mahabharata war. Till now, we knew and we have seen how Karna was born, his entire character, and what are all the things happened in his life, how he was responsible for the split of the Kaurava and Pandava families, how he was responsible in instigating Kauravas and especially Duryodhana against the Pandavas, his jealousy, his anger against Pandavas and especially Arjuna, his disrespect, disliking, demeaning words against the elders like Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya, Kritavarma, and how Karna became a center point of all the events, fueling, driving towards the final war of the Mahabharata. His most demeaning, most cruel, crooked role in the Sabhaparva, in the insulting Draupadi, and all the other events. It was Karna who is actually the fuel, the force behind the entire episode leading towards the family war of the Mahabharata. As we have seen, Karna was born to Pratha, that is Kunti, brought up by the Atiradha and Radha, came to the world to be known as Radheya, Sutaputra. And we also are aware that Suta is a community which works under the kings. Majorly, the community works as the charioteers, but it is not a demeaning community. It is not a low caste as it is presented. A respectable community. There are Suta kings. In fact, the entire Mahabharata was rendered by a great Muni whose name itself was Suta Mahamuni, Suta Muni. So Suta is not a low caste, disrespectable and dishonored as it was presented as a wrong negative narrative. He was known as Sutaputra. He was also known as a Kanina, Sohdaha, and this Karna has Kavachakundalas, Sahaja Kavachakundala. When he was born, and Surya himself was the father, these Kavachakundalas are natural protective gear on his body. It is something like the secret juices which rejuvenate his body. This Kavacha is a part of his physical body. We also know that in Bhagavad Gita, Karna was called as Velakula in the first chapter. Velakula means turbulent waters. Beautifully, the description was explained about Karna's character. Turbulent waters. And when the Karna comes on the 17th day, a decisive war he wanted to fight. He has lost one important weapon. He got it from the Indra in the bargain of giving his Kavacha to Indra. It was a bargain. It was not just a dana of a highest standards. He gave his Kavacha with a condition and a demand, got back a powerful Shakti from Indra Shakti, Indra. And that Shakti can be used only once. And once the Shakti was used, it goes back to Indra. This was the condition by Indra. So Karna keeps that Shakti. He kept on that Shakti with himself. It's a special arrow, a special missile, a special weapon. He reserved it only for the Arjuna. But things became different. He has to use he was made to use because there is no other option to kill Ghatotkacha. So he lost his kavacha, kundala, and he lost the only weapon which he has reserved for the Arjuna. And on the 17th day, Shalya became the charioteer of the Karna. And Shalya was the uncle of Pandavas. He was the brother of Madri, the second wife of Panduraja. Nakula and Sahadeva were born to Madri, and that Madri's brother was this Shalya. And the Shalya becomes the charioteer of Karna. Shalya gave a word to Yudhishthira that when an occasion comes, he will see that Karna's heart will be weakened. Karna's concentration will be distracted. The chance has come. So Shalya keeps on talking with Karna, saying Karna is weaker than Arjuna. Karna is not even an equivalent to stand in front of Arjuna. The Karna-Shalya Samvada, the discussion between Karna and Shalya on the 17th day was very important. How a charioteer can make the Rathika, the hero, weak by his words, by his talk. Instead of fueling and strengthening the heart of the Karna, he weakens him. And Karna becomes so angry on Shalya. And Karna uses such abusive languages, talking about Shalya's family, talking about Shalya's community, talking about Shalya's countrymen, Madradesha. This is also very surprising. Karna insulting Shalya, Karna insulting the entire community of the Shalya, Karna insulting, abusing, demeaning entire Madradeshis, entire countrymen. How right it is that we insult the entire countrymen by the character of one single man. Though Shalya became a thorn in Karna's foot, but Karna's abusive language to Shalya also expresses his character. So Karna enters the war on 17th day. Shalya was the charioteer, and as they enter, we know that, we have seen, Vyasa writes, lot of apashakunas, ashubha, amangala, inauspicious things happen, showing that the day is not good for Karna. Bad omens are sighted. Karna comes to the war front, to fight a decisive war on that particular day. It is also necessary to remember Karna has two curses, one from the Parashurama and one from a Brahmin. Parashurama's curse was at the most crucial moment. He will not remember the Brahmastra. And the Brahmin's curse was that in the right time of the crucial war, when he fights against his most wanted opponent, the wheel of his chariot will sink in the floor. Knowing all this, Karna challenges Arjuna and the fight continues. It was a very powerful fight, very interesting fight. That particular day, Karna wanted to kill Arjuna, and Arjuna also was decisive and killed Karna. Both the opponents, both the heroes, they are facing each other. And one side, Karna's charioteer Shalya was talking disheartening words to Karna, and other side, Krishna was inspiring Arjuna. One charioteer is inspiring, another charioteer was very uninspiring. Both were facing each other. The description of Karna and Arjuna's war in the Mahabharata is unparalleled, Vyasa says. Many people, even the divine beings, came up on the sky to witness the war, the final war between them. Many of the Kaurava and Pandava heroes were witnessing the final war between them, and it was tremendous. There were moments in which Karna was hurting Arjuna, he was hurting Krishna. There were also moments in which Arjuna was troubling and hurting Karna. Few times Arjuna troubles, hits Karna, and other times it was Karna who hits Arjuna. And in a particular moment, Karna, with his powerful arrows, cuts the string of Arjuna's Gandiva, and Arjuna ties the string again. Again it was cut. Vyasa describes Karna on that particular day cut 11 times Arjuna's string of the Gandiva. But the speciality of Arjuna's Gandiva god, it had 100 strings. It was described beautifully that Arjuna, sometimes in the Mahabharata war, there was a description. All the 100 strings were used at a time by both his hands, Savyasachi. And that was Arjuna's speciality and mastery. Karna is nowhere a match. And Karna and Arjuna's war is going on. Time is passing. Evening is coming up. Sun was about to set. And Krishna inspires Arjuna. Arjuna, this is the time. And don't spare this fellow. Use your entire strength, your power, your skill, entire your austerity, Tapo Shakti, Atma Shakti, Shiva Shakti. Use your entire power of the Dhanurvidya. Let Karna fall today. You have decided it in the morning. Do not spare this fellow. And Karna was also fully inspired, completely loaded himself. And Arjuna was also doubly loaded. And that power. And this is the time to remember that in the Vanaparva during the Ghoshayatra, the Rakshasas promised to Duryodhana that in the last time phase of the Karna's life, Narakasura's power will overcome Karna. So Karna will be fully powerful with the Asuri Shakti. And now Karna was in that tremendous power and the mood. And Arjuna was attacking with all his valor. And this is the time the two Shapas, the Parashurama's curse and the Brahmin's curse, both become effective. They become effective. And suddenly Karna's chariots, the wheel of Karna's chariot sinks in the earth. It was a reminder. Karna remembers. He knew that the time is coming. But we should all remember, Karna still continues to fight. And he fights, releases tremendous missiles. Agneyastra, Varunastra, Meghastra. And if uses all of them, Arjuna counters them. Arjuna also uses the Agneyastra, Varunastra, Meghastra, Vayuyastra. Each one is using one after the other missiles. And when Karna continues to fight, this is very important to know that it was not that Karna was not fighting, and when he was engaged in lifting the wheel of his chariot, Arjuna killed him illegally, unethically. This narrative is wrong one. The original Mahabharata doesn't say this. The original Vyasa Mahabharata says, versus the last moments of Karna, Karna continues to fight. He was fighting, and he even uses most powerful astras and missiles on Arjuna. He releases 5 powerful arrows which touch even Krishna, even the horses, even Arjuna's ratha, and Arjuna's flag post, the dhwaja, and Arjuna's Gandiva's strings were cut. All this is happening. But somewhere in the corner of his heart, Karna knows that the time, the few minutes, the last minutes are coming, because the chariot is, the wheel has sunk. And he wanted to lift the wheel, goes down. And as he was lifting, he asks Arjuna not to fight, not to release arrow. And there Karna quotes Dharma. He says, Arjuna, beautiful description is there in Mahabharata. Karna tells to Arjuna that not to release an arrow, because he is lifting the wheel and it is unethical, it is illegal, it is adharmic, it is against the rules of the warfare, it is against the rules of a soldier, of the stature of the Arjuna. But here Krishna interferes. And we should all remember, Krishna reminds to Karna, there are 11 shlokas. Just before the few minutes of Karna's death, Krishna talks to Karna. There are 11 beautiful shlokas in which Krishna gives 7 reasons where Karna was adharmic. Karna became role in the 7 adharmic activities, unrightful activities. And because of this 7 unrightful activities, unrighteous acts, adharmic activities, Karna, you have no right to quote Dharma. You have no right to quote rules, regulations and the laws. What happened? When Duryodhana poisoned Bhima's food, fed poisoned food to Bhima, made snakes to bite Bhima, and threw Bhima into the pond. It is you, Karna. You sided with Duryodhana. Hey Karna, remember that in the Varanavata, it was you who supported, planned to burn the Pandavas along with their mother Kunti. What happened to Dharma at that time? Karna, remember your role in the assembly when the dice game was going. It is you who insulted Draupadi. It is you who instigated Duryodhana. It is you who are responsible for the Draupadi to be disrobed. It is you who said Draupadi is a prostitute. It is you who made responsible for Dushasana to disrobe her, being a sister-in-law. It was you who was responsible. What happened to Dharma at that time? Karna, it is you who instigated Duryodhana to call Yudhishthira for the second time for the dice game. Have you forgotten? Do not quote laws and dharma to suit you, to protect your wrongdoings, wrong things, wrong actions, wrong thoughts. Dharma will not protect you. And just a few days back, Karna, it was you who is responsible in killing the young Abhimanyu. You have planned it. You are responsible, and it is you who cut the string. It was the first step was taken by you. And above all, Karna, Is it not the responsibility of you all to return the half rightful kingdom of the Pandavas after, as per the accepted rule, when they returned of their incognito of their 13 years? It was not done. In the discussions, it was you who said you can kill Pandavas and put Duryodhana as the king. It is as if Krishna was presenting to Karna a charter of his wrongdoings. And we should all remember that. Karna has no answer. Vyasa writes, Karna just hung his head down with shame in an accepted mood. But when then he was releasing and fighting the arrows, it was not that he was lifting his wheel with both the hands. He was fighting with Arjuna. And then Krishna asks Arjuna, now this is the time, Arjuna, before the sun sets, cut his head. And Arjuna takes the most powerful arrow, Anjalika it is called, and takes a oath that if I am truthful and dharmic, Arjuna says, if I am truthful and dharmic, and I have followed the principles of Dharma, let this Karna's head be cut and separated from his body. And he releases the arrow, and Karna's head was cut, falls on the floor of the war front, and the body falls. And Vyasa writes that Karna's Atma, a bright ray of spark, rises up and merges in the setting sun. That is how Karna's life was ended. So by seeing the entire Mahabharata, many comparisons were done between Karna and Arjuna. We all should remember Karna is nowhere a match to Arjuna. Karna was not even equal to Arjuna. Though both were educated, learnt from Drona during the years in forest, Arjuna acquired special techniques. He empowered himself. He mastered more and more in the intricacies. He even went to the Indraloka. He got special weapons from all the divine beings. He was fully loaded himself. And he even got special missiles and astras from Shiva himself, which Karna doesn't have. And we also should remember, in the occasions, without Krishna, Arjuna defeated Kauravas in a direct warfare 2 times during the marriage of the Draupadi and at the end of the Virata Parvam. Twice he defeated all the Kauravas with all their heroes, with all their weapons, single-handedly. And Arjuna also defeated Drupada, where Kauravas and Karna could not defeat Drupada, and they were defeated by Drupada. And in the Vanaparvam, Kauravas were defeated by the Gandharva, Chitraradha, and Karna ran away, not even saving Duryodhana. And it was Arjuna who defeated the Gandharva. And even during the Mahabharata war, Karna could not save his own sons and brothers. Even in the Uttara Gograhanam, in the Virata Parva, Karna could not save his own brothers who were killed by Arjuna. So throughout, a false and a wrong narrative was presented that Karna is greater than Arjuna, and Arjuna is nobody in front of Karna, and Arjuna cannot fight without Krishna. but it was Arjuna and Arjuna alone who is the greatest warrior, and it was Karna who is not a match to Arjuna. Not even in chivalry and warfare, even in the dana, giving away the gifts. The only gift, of course, the greatest gift, unthinkable gift, is he has separated his protective armor, kavacha, from his body, which has come to him by birth, to Indra. But he has demanded in return of his gift. So though it was great gift, but it has a negative dimension, that he has given it on a return demand. And all this will show that Karna in Mahabharata as presented by Vyasa, the original Mahabharata, we should read and understand that Karna's character is very dangerous. It was uninspiring, very much negative, contributory to the adharmic side, contributory to all the wrongdoings of the Kauravas and the Duryodhana. And Karna was the fuel, like a ghee in Adharma. Let us remember this and try to understand the character of the Karna properly and rightly. And it was Karna's role which made Mahabharata most important itihasa in our Indian culture. Whenever there is a doubt regarding the incidents, it is always better and it should be referred to the original texts than making impressions and statements and comments based on unauthenticated versions of the Mahabharata. Hope this series makes the things clear and puts the correct character of Arjuna and Karna in front of us. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.